What's up, everybody? I'm excited to shoot another episode today. Today, I'm with my good friend Akash. Akash, what is going on? How are you doing today?
Hey everybody, I am doing good, Britt. Thank you. It's my day off, so I'm doing
Oh,
wonderful.
even better, even better. Well, I asked Akash to join us. He's actually been on the podcast. This was early on, pre-video. It was audio only, but one of the first few episodes that I shot with Akash at that time. But I wanted to bring him back on, share his story again, also just to catch up with him, see what else he's up to. And I know Akash has some big things on the horizon, which he'll share. But Akash, what is going up, man? How about you just share a little bit of your background and what you're up to?
Yeah, well, so my background, I guess, I'm from Houston, but before that, I grew up in India. So like my family moved there when I was about 14, and then kind of went through my teenage years in Houston and kind of been all over Texas since. And actually spent a good part of it in Lubbock, going to tech, moved back and came back. And actually, the big news is that I'm actually moving back to Houston Monday the 14th. Yeah.
Yeah. So on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
awesome, man. So you grew up in India. You came over when you were 14, right?
Yeah.
And in Houston, was it like the actual city of Houston, or was it
Yeah.
like one of the smaller, like I guess one of the suburbs? I know Houston's massive, so
No, we lived like right by Heights.
uh-huh.
So, which is like one of the major, well, right now it's like a very gentrified neighborhood, like with all the up and coming restaurants and everything. But that's where we lived. Like, and it was very different for sure.
From India.
Yeah.
What was some of the change? I mean, the biggest differences. Just I'm very curious on that. Like from back in India to Houston.
The space, like for sure, like there's a lot of space here, like compared, like because India, like even when I went back, like it felt really small.
Hmm.
Like the cars and everything feels small. The roads were like gigantic, like
Yeah.
and Houston, and but like climate wise and everything, like it's pretty much exactly the same in from the part of India we were in. So my parents like it because of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was just a space.
Yeah.
It was enormous and a cultural shock, I would say, because I'd been around Indians up until that point.
Hmm.
So it was just like going to school, and it's like all these people asking me different questions. It's like, do you ride an elephant to school? It's like after the first few times, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, we had one in our yard, like every day.
Yeah.
So.
So it's true what they say. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, it was like because when we moved here, we went to Jersey for like 6 months to try out Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Hated it, like
Really?
yeah, and Jersey didn't work out, so our whole family we moved back to Houston, and it was like, yes, like it's like Jersey is very congested, small, like compared to Texas,
Yeah.
like in general.
Yeah, more city landscape
Hmm.
and all that good stuff. Okay. So you moved to Houston and you went to high school there,
Hmm.
obviously, and then you moved to Lubbock to go to tech. What brought you? I know going to school brought you here, but what was the thing about Lubbock that you decided to move over here?
It was just job. Like I was running a liquor store, which I was tired of, so I was just like, oh, let me do something else. Applied for a job, and it ended up being out of Lubbock. So moved here into the Dallas. They had two options, and I picked Lubbock instead of Dallas.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. And then you decided to go to college at that point, or
Well, no, like the job was after graduating.
oh, okay,
Yeah, like because like I had graduated, and then I moved back to Houston, and actually, that's when I had like gotten a DWI also. So I was on probation.
hmm
So I was running a liquor store and just not happy with everything. So I was just like, I'm just gonna quit, sell everything, and go do my own
with the
thing.
liquor store.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what ended up happening, and yeah, but that was like a whole different experience too, because it was like in the more, what's it called, ghetto part of Houston.
Uh huh.
So I got to experience that culture, I guess.
I got you.
So it was a good learning curve, like, but yeah. And after that, I took the HVAC job, and I came here, and I quit that during the pandemic and joined Wells Fargo.
Okay. Yeah, and I remember HVAC. You were doing like sales, right?
Yeah, sales for like hotels in specific.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
All right. So, like you mentioned, so India to Houston. Well, Jersey was kind of in the mix there, and then Houston, you stayed. You came to Lubbock for school, right? To
yeah,
Tech. You went back to Houston. You're
and then
running the business, and then
came
came
back
back to
here
Lubbock
about 4 years ago.
okay. And so you've been here ever since, and now you're getting ready
Move back.
to move back to Houston. Okay.
And this time I'm actually taking my girlfriend and our dogs. Like, so we're all moving. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a big move.
Yeah, that is. That is. Well, cool, man. Sounds exciting. All right, and I remember at that time too when you were working HVAC. That's about the time where you joined the gym. Is that right?
Yeah, like that job was like I traveled quite a bit, and it was just unhealthy lifestyle, I guess. And I was starting to become unhappy. I was drinking quite a bit. So it was just like I believe one day in the office of Melinda, because I was like complaining about how I was just like, oh, like this, that, like I need to start working out, blah blah blah. And I'm just rambling. I'm not even like complaining to Melinda per se.
Yeah.
But it was just like by
Just
her
kinda,
office.
yeah, just kind of letting it out.
Yeah, like just like ranting, and she's like, "You should come check out this gym that I go to." And I was like, "Why not?" Like, and she like gave me the name, and I like looked it up, and I called. I think Vanessa answered.
Uh-huh.
I was like, and she's like, "Oh, we're doing like an open week," and I think it was December. It was December 3rd was the first day of the month, I believe, and that's when I showed up at like 5:30 a.m. or something like, or 5:05. I think that's when. That's
I
when
think
those
at that time it was 5:15.
Yeah, like it was early. Like
Yeah.
it was insanely early. I was just like, ah, and it was like right about the time I had like just quit drinking, like not even 30 days before that.
Uh-huh.
So it was just terrible. Like I wasn't sleeping right. I was, yeah. It was,
And so to come work out at 5:15, huh?
yeah, and like I did like one class, and then like we talked, and I was like, oh, like yeah, sign me up. I'll be here for the boot camp like this month at least.
Yeah.
And I think we did the 17-day challenge or something to start out with.
Oh yeah, the 21-day challenge during Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, not 17. Yeah, the 21-day challenge. That was fun. And actually, like, so the cool thing about that, like, because I'd never really messed around with dieting before that. And so when I started that, like, you had mentioned about, like, the whole plan, like, how the 21-day challenge was. So that's what had attracted me to that. So for that particular one, like I signed up, like literally, like you had given me the sheet, and I tried to follow it pretty much to the T. Like the carbs is the only thing that I wasn't hitting some days, because like I had cut everything to like very low carb, so it was just the carbs I wasn't hitting, and I think that helped, and just quitting out alcohol altogether helped. Like, and I lost quite a bit of weight the first 4 weeks there. Yeah.
Yeah, during that challenge.
Yeah, and I think I placed second, and Helga won that one. Yeah, like she's been phenomenal with that consistency, like throughout.
Yeah,
like
going back that far.
Yeah, like because I remember, like, because like me and her started out around the same time, like doing everything. Because I remember, like, and her consistency's been phenomenal. So like, but I remember she beat me out, and then we did another one like in January or February, and she won that one too, and she beat me out on that one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I placed second on that. So yeah, but yeah, that was really cool because I ate meat before that, like, but like I never cooked or never messed with it, and when I started dieting, like that's when I started cooking and everything. So like and now it's been like, it's getting out of hand cooking. So it's just like coming up with different recipes, and it's like marinate this for a few days.
Yeah. So you're saying cooking in general, just like cooking your own meals, or are you doing like meal prepping too with that? A little bit of both?
A little bit of both. Like meal prep, like I try not to do, because I'm really bad at, like, once I prep it, I won't get it out of the fridge and microwave and eat it. Like I'm really bad with that.
It just sits there?
Yeah. It just sits there until Paula's like mad about it. It's like,
Yeah.
why have we not eaten
So
this?
you're more about just cooking like the day night of, and then trying to just, I guess, consume all that. You're not a big leftovers guy, huh?
It depends on what the leftovers are.
Okay. All right. Okay. So just kind of going back. So when you started coming in, you touched on this a little bit, but what was it like the first like that first week you came in to work out? Maybe just share your experience of the workouts themselves. I know working. I mean, waking up in general can be pretty tough
Yeah,
that early if you're not used to it. But outside of that, like how were the workouts? What was that whole process like getting started?
it was really good. Like, so with the workouts, I started out with boot camp classes, so it was a almost no barbell, like mostly dumbbell work, a lot of pull ups. I
Hmm.
remember like I had to do jumping pull ups and terrible. Like I don't know. Back then, jumping pull ups felt terrible on my knees
Hmm.
compared to now. Like if I were to do them, but yeah, like the whole workouts, like it was just progression, and I was just very. I hadn't moved in quite a few years. It felt like so it was
Yeah.
just like just getting back into it, but it felt nice. Like the workouts were very easy to do. I
Yeah.
guess like the movements and
Like to
stuff.
get involved and get moving
Yeah,
and stuff.
because I remember like even the overhead stuff, like with the dumbbell. There was a progression that we did
Uh
like
huh.
for me like because even like now my overhead movement's like pretty good, but like back then like I had to like still work on some of it, like the snatches that we do, like hang dumbbell snatches
Hmm.
or cleans and stuff,
Yeah.
because we did a lot of those like with lighter weights, and it was fun like cycling them. And yeah, like, and having access to the app, like I would always see the workouts of the CrossFit workouts, which were later in the day, and I would always
Hmm.
be like, oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
So like I think February or March is when I like
Started making that transition. Okay.
started showing up to the 5:15 p.m. class.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess what helped was that 21-day challenge because you said that's when you started dialing in some of the nutrition, kind of
Yeah.
dabbling with that. And then, what was it like transitioning from, like you said, what we were doing? Like you said, it was more like a boot camp style class, which at that time it was called Fit.
Hmm.
But you're exactly right. There was no barbell involved in that whatsoever. So it was a lot of body weight, a lot of dumbbells, kettlebells, a lot of cardio, a lot of running, things like that, working on the machine. So, what was it like going from that style of workouts and then kind of getting into more of the CrossFit where there's a bigger emphasis on like strength training with the barbell, starting to add some load and doing all that? What was that kind of like?
It was really fun, to be honest. Like I used to lift back in high school, and like I played football and stuff, and I had injured my knee, where basically I had hyperextended my T band, and my knee would sprain itself.
Hmm.
Me just standing around, so I never did squats.
Oh, okay.
Like I always did other functional leg strengthening exercises, which were, now that I think about it, I think they're useless. Like if I was trying to build mobility
Hmm.
and functional strength, like because those exercises would actually only help you like get certain muscles or certain look of the leg. Like it's not going to help you get into that deep squat, bottoming out, and stuff,
Okay.
whatnot.
So it's more of a cosmetic thing to
Yeah,
kind of shape
so
your muscles and stuff.
that's what I was doing, and like so doing here like with the barbell, like it essentially like brought out like a whole new love for the barbell.
Hmm.
Like I really really do enjoy working out with the barbell, like just the barbell alone. Like barbells and kettlebells are like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So it it really brought out my love for the gym and just barbell workouts altogether,
Yeah.
like Olympic lifts altogether.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Were you ever intimidated by the barbell at all from when you were doing those style of workouts that had no barbell, and then now, there's a barbell? I mean, it's not necessarily every workout, but I mean, throughout the week, it's going to be 3 to 5 times. I mean, at
Yeah.
least that you're gonna have it. So, was it ever something that intimidated you, or were you kind of looking forward to like getting your hands on it and starting to
Yeah.
work with it?
Yeah, because like so I guess like since the boot camp. So like in the boot camp, we did a lot of air squats,
Mm-hmm.
like way too many to be honest. But like so like but before that, like whenever I would do squats, like I couldn't get like up to parallel. Like I would have to be like right above it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where my mobility stopped.
Yeah.
So like doing just the air squats and like also like losing some of the weight because I was about 260 and I think like that was starting in December and starting January I had lost about 30 pounds or so within that month. So that was
Mm-hmm.
like a good loss of weight. Like I was happy with that. Like to be honest,
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. I mean, 30 pounds
yeah.
in a month. I mean,
A lot of it, I think, it was the alcohol that helped burn off.
yeah. So more of just changing some of your habits.
Yeah, and eating like regular meals.
Yeah.
Because like uh, the routine, like because I was working out at like 5:15 in the morning, so I would come work out, go home, drink like a big protein shake, eat big breakfast. My breakfast at that time would be 12 to 1,400 calories.
Yeah.
Really big breakfast, like. Yeah, like now that I think about it, I was just like, I don't know how I did that. Like, but like it was big breakfast, and then my lunch would be another 600 calories or so, and then dinner I would eat another 800-900 calories. So I was eating like a good amount of calories. I
Yeah.
didn't cut, but it was just like good calories
Mm-hmm.
altogether, and like I wasn't staying hungry. Like I had switched out desserts for a lot of good desserts.
Uh-huh.
I fall back on that because I love ice cream. So
Yeah, yeah, and definitely you gotta, enjoy some of
yeah,
that every now and then. But yeah, it's interesting that you say that you weren't necessarily cutting back your calories like extremely to lose the amount of weight you did. It was just more of a shift of eating, I guess,
right.
just having better choices of what you're eating, not
Yeah.
necessarily how much.
Well, so like before that, like I said, like I was drinking quite a bit. So like with drinking, like it's like you're drinking a lot of beer and or even just whiskey, like the liquid fills you up.
Uh huh.
So like a lot of times like you won't eat as much.
Right.
So the calories are coming just from the liquid and that your body goes into that survivor mode, like where it
Mm-hmm.
stores the fat.
Yeah.
Eh,
Instead of burning it.
yeah, and if I was working out, it would be different, but I wasn't. So
Yeah.
yeah, and like just eating right, like even now, like if I eat consistently, like I know my metabolism isn't gonna just drop,
Mm-hmm.
and like my body's not gonna go into like save everything mode.
Yeah.
Like it's like like you're getting calories, like so keep burning them, keep
Yeah.
burning them. So
Yeah.
that helped. Like it was a big learning curve for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So for the nutrition, because the nutrition I always like to try and dial in a little more because I know with working out, obviously, you're going to start seeing results. If you haven't, like you said, when you're getting started, just moving, if you haven't worked out in a while, even without changing your nutrition, you're going to start seeing results. But like what you said, you did that challenge. And I mean, you said 30 pounds in 30 days, which is not common for a lot of people. And depending where you're at, that could be a little too much weight. But for you, like you mentioned, you weren't hungry, you weren't depriving yourself. What was something that was the biggest like key factor on the nutrition side that you felt like, oh, this makes sense, like it clicked and like it just really helped you in your personal goals at that time? Was there anything that kind of stood out for you?
Like I think like so whenever we discussed like because you had like the way you calculated the calories, like how much protein to take, and like I was doing some reading on my own, like just on Reddit and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the protein. Like if you're full, like you won't be eating carbs like other foods. Like so
Mm-hmm.
it's just like if you're eating enough protein in a day, like you're gonna be fuller, and you just have to supply like others,
Yeah.
like everything next to it,
Mm-hmm.
like carbohydrates and fats and all that. And even in the fats, like you want to be careful, like you don't want to add too many bad fats, like
Yeah.
because me, like I love nuts and dates and whatnot. So like if I'm sitting like by my kitchen counter, I'll eat like half a tub of dates and like cashews.
Yeah, before you even know it.
Yeah, like, I'm just like, oh dang.
Yeah.
And it's like you look at it and it's like so much fat in that. Like
Yeah.
it's like so, but yeah, it's just that.
So for you, the protein was a a
Yeah,
big factor that stood out. So
because
as long,
I always made sure I hit my protein, like no matter what. Like even now, like I try to hit like a good 140 grams to 180 a
yeah,
day. It just depends on the day, but yeah,
right, yeah, and I think too once you realize your ratio and like you said, like the protein, fats, and carbs, where you kind of want to be at. I think once you have a baseline of that, not to where you have to follow that strictly, but at least you have an idea of what you're putting in your body. I think it goes a long way
yeah,
with trying, like if it's either if you're trying to build muscle or lose weight, depending what your goals are, or even just becoming healthier in general. You know, having more energy and whatnot. So
definitely.
that's cool. So okay, you got into doing CrossFit workouts consistently. What's one of your favorite workouts that you like doing? Maybe what's one of your favorite? Yeah, what's one of your favorites?
Cali Bear.
Cali Bear.
Yeah, I do it pretty much weekly.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like I go to what is that gym called? TrueFit.
Uh huh.
Because Paula has her membership there for classes. So on weekends, she can take a guest for free.
Yeah.
So Saturdays or Sundays, like I'll go with her and I'll just do clean and jerks for an hour
Yeah.
and then run a mile. That's it.
Yeah.
But like I usually like I'll do clean and jerks and then I'll just do Cali Bear for 20 minutes. And if I'm doing like a really heavy um, squat clean jerk, because I switch it up.
Hmm.
Cause I really like the format of that workout, and
Yeah.
in that I switch up clean and jerks and squat snatches.
Yeah.
And even the clean and jerks, I do squat clean and jerks.
Okay.
So that way, it's just building that bottoming out in the mobility, and it's helped quite a bit. Like to be honest, like I love doing that. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite workouts.
So you'll keep the same format, doing it like every 30 seconds. You do a rep. Is that?
Yeah, like pretty much. Like if I'm doing squat snatches, I do the same. Like
Uh-huh.
sometimes if I'm doing a heavy squat snatch, because I think the heaviest I've done in that workout is 135 pounds.
Okay.
And in that, I gave myself 45 seconds.
Okay.
So I just did 30 minutes in her 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But that was the only one that I switched. But clean and jerks, 20 minutes every 30 seconds works just really well.
Yeah.
You just got to be consistent.
Right. I like that workout myself too, just because of the time frame. Because you could go in there and knock out the total amount of reps, and let's just say you double the amount of time. Well, it's a huge difference. It's a different animal when you have to stay on that timeline, and so that is a very fun one from NC Fit, that Cali Bear, and they have another one that's similar to that, and it's I just went blank, but it has bear in it. I don't know. It's like a scaled down version, but
Okay.
that's interesting. So you do Cali Bear once a week right now.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Chief also. That would be my number 2.
Okay.
Because I think that one we did it last April was the first time I did it.
Yeah.
Loved it. And like I try to do that at least once a month.
Okay. Yeah.
'Cause that's another workout that like usually makes you feel like you're out of shape.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, don't matter if you're in shape either, right?
Yeah, like I mean like the number of rounds that I've gotten in that is like all over the board.
Yeah.
Like and I've done it consistently now, RX version
Okay.
with a 135-pound barbell.
Yeah.
And it's fun, like, but I did it recently and I only got 14 rounds and I was just like, oh. And I look at my scores and I was like, I got 18 the time before. I was like,
Yeah.
how? What happened? Like 4 rounds in just 2 months I lost.
Yeah. Do you ever hit up death row?
Oh, I haven't done that in a long
You've
time.
done that one though, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's probably not your favorite if I'm taking a wild guess.
Like I'm not a big fan of rowing or biking, so
You're more about, like you mentioned, the barbell, the lifting.
yeah, like lifting and running. Because there's like one workout that I did with Jessica here. It was like overhead squats and run,
Uh-huh.
and it was like I don't know, it was 40 or 60 overhead squats you had to do, and if you drop the barbell, you had to run like a 200-meter or something.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was 40. I want to say,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, oh, okay, like you want to get it around like 8-9 minutes ish, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like, and I'm like 5 minutes and change. I was like, I got all 40. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
but it was just one of those. Like, I love those workouts because it's like barbell, like you run, I try to minimize the runs in those, but like I still ended up having to run.
Yeah.
But those are a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So definitely Cali Bear's the number one right now, the number one go to.
Oh, yeah.
So you mentioned running, and I'm curious too because you actually do a lot of running outside of the gym here. What's kind of your regimen on the running aspect? Because I know, we always do the summer challenge, the summer slim down challenge, where it involves the mile, where you're trying to run that mile at least like either before your workout or after. But on your running regimen, what do you do for that? How does that look?
So like right now, like it's been a little too cold, so I've cut it down, to be honest. But even right now, I run, what's it, at least 20 to 25 miles a month.
Yeah.
Again, as I've cut it down because I was running about 45.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it depends. Like most of the days, it's just a quick mile and a half with my dog, Ringo. And I recently started taking Bear out for quick, nice runs too.
Oh, okay, nice.
So we'll do like a nice little 600 meters with Bear, and
Yeah.
then Bear gets to rest, and me and Ringo will go for a mile and a half run.
Yeah, so you go like relay style, huh?
Yeah, so like you come and switch out the dogs,
Yeah.
or like I'll take both. Usually Bear's slow because that's a whole different story. I gave him too much cheese and he gained weight. So
Now you're working back on that.
yeah, so he's on a diet.
Trying to
like,
get him active.
Like, I'm sorry, Bear.
If you're eating this cheese, we got to get you out running.
So like that's what I ended up having because we had to take him to the vet,
Oh.
and they're like, "You're 26 pounds." I was like, "We had gotten you down to 23."
Yeah.
And so it's just but it's funny. So like we run and I love running with Ringo actually. Like
Yeah, and so Ringo, and you show me some pictures. Like Ringo's, like he's the real deal. Has little shoes and everything, right?
yes. Like I had to get him shoes because when we first started running, like one day, like it was hot, like, and I ran in the evening time, and he got a blister on one of his paws.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want him to have to deal with that. Like now his paws are calloused, and but even when it's too cold or too warm, I'll put his shoes on because when it's too warm, like Ringo doesn't care, but like if Bear's walking on warm pavement, like you can tell like that it's burning his paws.
Yeah. Like it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, so like I just put his shoes on, like, and he doesn't mind them, like, and he has his harness, like we have like a running belt.
Okay.
I have lights because like sometimes we would go for a walk or a run like early in the morning, like 6 a.m. So when it's dark. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you too. And I've seen some of those products out there with the running belt or to how you run with like keeping your hands free, or if you're used to just holding the leash. But so you actually have a belt that you wear.
Because I used to run with holding on to the leash, but Ringo pulls. So like it's just like one hand's like this and like So it's
kind of hard to keep a rhythm. I'm guessing.
Like it was just not fun. And now like it's just like a belt and it just hooks on it, so he can just whip around easy. And I have like his potty bags and everything. So because I've had a incident where we were running and all of a sudden like he just picks a driveway to poop in. Like driveway, not even the grass.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are you doing? And the owner's sitting right there.
Oh, and they're outside.
So it was just one of those, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I'll be back with the bags. It's like we ran and like came back with the bags. It's just funny.
Yeah. So when you run with them, do y'all have like set routes, or do you kind of just mix it up?
I have set routes in the neighborhood. They're all measured. So if we're running a mile, like I'll run a certain block. If we're running a mile and a half, I'll run a certain block.
Okay.
Those are the only two I have mapped because I just base the distance off of that. Because if I want to run like a 5K, for example, I'll just do the mile and a half twice and then do a half a mile.
Yeah. So what's the longest you've ever ran before?
7.5 miles.
7.5?
In one go, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And what's the longest Ringo's ran before?
5K.
With you? A 5K?
Like I try to just keep it minimum to that. Like I don't want him to exhaust himself. He'll keep going.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty impressive too, though, man. I mean, at least especially running with you the entire time
Yeah.
and not stopping, right?
Yeah, like we run through and through normally, and I wear my weighted vest too. Like that's been
Oh, nice.
one of those things. Like because now every time I even touch that thing, Ringo's like, "Oh, what's happening?"
The vest?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he already knows.
Because he knows if I put on the vest, he gets to put on his vest. So
Yeah, gotcha. Nice. All right. Well, speaking of vest, you've done Murph how many times now? 2 or 3 times?
each year, 3 times.
So I know we've done it. You've done it here at least
Once.
right? And then
Once.
I know during COVID,
I did it modified at the house with a row
and then I think one time you were out of town.
in
And
Houston.
okay, yeah.
I did it at a park,
Uh-huh.
and I just met up. I was just there to do it by myself at 7 a.m. and a bunch of guys showed up. They were gonna do the same thing, and I was like, "All right."
Oh,
well."
really? That's cool.
Yeah, it was just very random. Like,
Yeah.
and it was not just like 2 or 3 guys. It was like a whole group of friends that showed up in like 4 cars.
Oh, dang.
So it was really nice because I had already mapped out the mile and all.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't, so they were gonna have like somebody go in front. And I was like, "Oh, I've already mapped it out. Like, you just turn around right here."
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And they're like, "All right, well, let's do this." And it was really fun.
That's cool. I mean, just to meet some people.
Yeah, and it was just out in the park, like
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
that's cool. So, just kind of backtracking, you got involved now. I mean, obviously, you're very active now with working out, running, and you actually got involved into some kind of local throwdowns. I know the most recent one, the Veterans Day Bash, that you did, which was a team of 6 people. Is that right?
Yes,
6.
yes.
Okay. What was that experience like? That was here in Lubbock.
Oh, that was a blast.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I feel like I waited too long to do something like that. That was really fun. Like me, it was a team of 6. So it was me, Eddie, Isaac, JC, Angelica, and Monica.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yep.
so it was a lot of fun. Like we could have even placed higher. It's just we weren't ready for some of the workouts. Like it was just like curveballs they throw. The
Mhm.
workouts were a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Like the split snatch and stuff. So
Yeah.
the whole experience in general was fun. Like, cause like the competition mode, like just like you just go like, cause even the pull ups, like the ring pull ups we had to do for one of the workouts, where you do a few, you jump off, your teammate goes on. Like it's
Mhm.
just like for however many you can do in the remaining time, and we got up to almost 100.
Yeah.
So it was nice, like, cause I didn't think we would get that many.
Yeah.
To be honest, like we were just going. It was
Yeah.
it was so much fun.
That was cool. And I remember we went out and watched all and whatnot. And I just know with being involved, like you just mentioned, that natural adrenaline that you get, where it's just different than just doing like a normal workout. And then I'm sure I've never done a team one. I've always like the few I've done has always been just with one person, like as a partner. So I'm sure that was a blast with just working out with an
Yeah.
actual team. During that competition, what was your favorite workout y'all did? Was it the ring pull-ups?
No, well, actually, yeah, I liked that one, but my favorite was the one that we did at Dunbar.
Mm-hmm. That was the outdoor one, right?
At 7 a.m. when it was foggy with a 45-pound plate that kept slipping everywhere.
Yeah.
That was a fun workout.
And so, what did y'all do exactly?
It was a lot, to be honest. Let's see. So they had like a football field set up where the ladies had a plate of 25, guys had a plate of 45. I think for us, the ladies started, I want to say, and the guys went out for the run first.
Mhm.
So essentially, they would just pick up their plate at the starting point and start doing lunges up to a certain point, and then at that point they do squats and then push-ups and then continue on with the lunges. And for each movement, like you're switching the plate, like
Yeah.
the hands, the plate hands or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And the guys, they would run like different distances, or each team would run different distances. So like you start with the 600, you come back and meet the ladies like wherever they are, and one of the guys would go pick up their 45-pound plate and come back, and you're doing the lunges, squats,
Yeah.
push-ups. and coming back down the field while they're doing the 600. We almost finished. I think we were like 5 minutes behind.
Yeah, and that was a long workout because was
Yeah.
the time cap like an hour or like
I think it was like 50 or 45 minutes.
pretty close to an hour, right?
Yeah, 45 or 50 minutes. We were like 5 minutes away, so like very close. Only a few teams finished.
Yeah.
Because there was one of the teams, like they were like track and field guys from the tech, and they could run.
Yeah, so they were moving.
Yeah, like, and it didn't even look like they were moving, but they were moving.
Yeah.
Like, it was like I was like, I can see like these girls like just coming up on me. I was like, all right, let's keep up, like not let them pass. The one passes. All right, let's not let the other one pass. The other one passes. Oh shit. Oh, the third one passed. All right, just keep going.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It was just that I was trying to go full speed too. Like, and it was just terrible.
Yeah.
And also like I hadn't ran like in dirt.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to running in the street and pavement.
Yeah. So that was a big difference.
Yeah, because the surface usually, like I wasn't expecting the surface to be like so uneven. Like, and my feet, ankles, everything was fine, but it was just like a different experience.
Yeah, and then it was wet too, right?
Oh yeah, very slippery.
Yeah. Man, yeah. We went out there and it was crazy, especially how early it was, how foggy it was, and it was pretty. I mean, it was pretty chilly too. So that was cool though to watch y'all compete in that. So you did the Veterans Day Bash. I know you and I we did the Tough as Nails when it was virtual here,
Yeah,
but that was real scaled down.
true.
But even some of those workouts, I mean, were pretty tough. I remember.
Yeah. Because there was one where we did the workout and like we were waiting for the second part. I was like, oh, I thought that was the second workout.
Yeah.
But it was the second part.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember that was like a long workout, and I was
Uh-huh.
just like not ready for that.
Yeah, I remember that. And that was like the first one.
Yeah,
That's funny. So basically, you know, right now you're pretty much to where you started. You know, you had to get into a routine working out, and then even with your nutrition. But now, you're to this point where I think, you know, it's just kind of second nature for you.
Yeah.
Is that pretty accurate?
yeah. Like now, like it's like I like to have a run in like at least once every other day. Like
Mhm.
that's an itch that doesn't go away. Like I do a lot of kettlebell work because that's what I have at home right now. Whenever I come here, like looking forward to the barbell work that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Usually sad when there's no barbell in the workouts. To be honest, like
Yeah,
it's just like oh dang, no barbell
just
today.
kind of bums you out.
Yeah, and when there's too much barbell, like I'm too sore, and I'm just like, oh, too much barbell this week,
Yeah.
and complaining about that. So
It's very effective. That's for sure. So I'm curious. Your journey. I know it's been a few years now since you've actually been working out here. Maybe give us a general overview of where you started. I know you've lost a ton of weight. I know you mentioned 30 pounds, even just initially. That's huge, but it didn't stop there. It continued. And so, what is it? Where was that kind of where you started, and maybe your initial goal, and then maybe where you're at now, and then kind of, you know, what your new goals are now that you kind of have this new routine.
yeah, so like when I initially started, like the goal was just to like get in a manageable weight, because I'd always been around 200 pounds. Like
Hmm.
even in high school, like senior year, I was like 195. Stayed around 205, 210 ish throughout college and everything. So like never went too far over that. So right now I'm like I sit at about 206
Uh huh.
like in the morning, which is not bad. Like right now I haven't been like following anything detailed or trying to lose any weight or anything. Like I like being at that weight
Hmm.
because that helps with the strength, to be honest. Because initially when I was like doing the whole like following the regimen and like counting macros and whatnot, I took it too far. Well, not too far. Like I followed it a little too long, and I went down to almost 175 at one point. So that was
Mhm.
like right before the pandemic started.
Hmm.
Because I went to India and I remember I weighed myself and I was like about 175, 176 ish.
Hmm.
And I was like, dang, like I didn't know like I was that light. Like, because I hadn't been weighing myself for like almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Because I don't like doing that.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you with doing that
Okay.
too often.
And then I did that. I was like, how did I get down like 175?
Oh
Like that
wow.
wasn't ever the goal.
Uh-huh.
So I was just like, all right, like then dialed some things over, like, and just came back up to like 195 ish.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, and like about then, like, since 195, so I just fluctuate between like that 10 pounds,
Okay.
195, 205.
Yeah, so when you first started, you were at 2
259 was
259.
that was the weight that we did the weigh in for the
Uh-huh.
21-day challenge.
Oh wow. So almost 260, and then you went all the way down to 175, which and, and a lot of people don't hit that mark where they're like, "Oh wow, I've like lost too much weight," to be to that point. But for you, what I like and I respect that for you and where you wanted to be, and also strength wise, that it wasn't all about just like, hey, I just want to keep losing weight and
Yeah.
being like, just this, stick figure or something. But yeah, so if you went from 260 all the way to 175. So
Yeah.
roughly, what is that?
60 plus 25. So
Like
that's
80.
84.
Okay, 84 total pounds is what you've lost. And then, the thing is, it wasn't overnight. You mentioned 30 days, you lost 30 pounds, but that was roughly what, in about 2.5 years?
Yeah, like the rest of it, like, so I I was down to 175 by the end of that year. So it took me almost a year to
About a
lose the
year.
rest of it.
Oh, okay.
Like, so the first 30 came off real quick because of, like, I want to say alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, so if you drink too much and you quit, you're gonna lose a lot of weight.
Yeah. Like, I mean, without doing much, right?
Yeah, like even if you don't, even if you don't work out, like just like light stuff, like you're gonna lose at least 10, 15 pounds because
Yeah.
it's just those unnecessary calories that your body's not consuming.
Yeah.
Because like I read a lot, like, and the way I quit, like I didn't go to AA or anything, like I didn't do any of that, like I just joined the gym,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like, which is not the best thing you should do, but it worked for me.
But it worked for you. And so it was a year that you lost around 80 pounds.
Yeah, about a little more than a year because I was in India in January. So yeah,
Yeah.
almost a year. Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy. That's incredible. And so,
and yeah, like that year, like I followed everything like to the T. Like for the first 6-8 months, like it was
uh-huh.
just like protein shake, like first thing in the morning, big breakfast.
Yeah.
Like I think the calories in the morning help you like stay energized. You get things done. Like all right,
Mhm.
like do like nice lunch. Like, and I had good schedule at that point. Like so it worked well.
Mhm.
Right now I have like a crappy schedule, so my meals are like all over
It's a
the
little more
place.
difficult, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like your metabolism just skyrocketed once you started working out and then consistently.
Eating that many calories.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because that's what I like on Reddit. Like that's what I read. Like, and they were just like, so you want to spike your metabolism? Like, start eating calories. Like, eat and work out. Because like if you're working out, your body's burning calories, so your body's thinking like, oh, like we're burning calories, but now we're getting calories.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be like, all right, like we're good, like we're not in storage, like or like survival mode.
Yeah.
So like it's just that, like, and yeah, like the human body does adapt really well
Mhm.
because we were made to survive.
Right? Yeah. For sure. And I think a lot of people get confused that, you always have to restrict yourself, especially with eating, so that's a big deal. But yeah, that's man, like just your journey. I mean, it's been really cool to see that. And then like you even mentioned also coming back now and that you want to start building strength
Yeah.
and doing more of that. I know you're also involved, like we talked about your running, but you also play basketball outside of this
yeah.
too. So you seem seem like you're pretty active nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, like the basketball was just like an addition because I always wanted to like just have a good cardio, like because running is fun to be honest, like but like activity like basketball adds like a competitive uh edge, I guess. Well,
Hmm.
I don't think edge, I guess, but like a competitive element to your day-to-day workout.
Yeah.
Because like even on Wednesdays, like so, oh yeah, so today's Wednesday, so I'm
Hmm.
gonna go play basketball at 5 p.m. today. I worked out in the morning, so it just adds to that, like, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
And it's great cardio. And when I moved to Houston, my brother mentioned that they have like a cricket league they do. So I'm
Oh, okay.
looking forward to do that. Like, so because I haven't played cricket since I was like 12, 13.
Oh, really? Yeah. So get back into that.
Yeah, and like there's certain sports that I'm just naturally good at,
Mm-hmm.
and cricket is one
Cricket's
of
one of
them.
them.
So like I'm like really looking forward to it because
Yeah.
cricket, badminton, like I'm surprisingly good at badminton.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like who knows like how.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I
cool.
played it like once years ago. It's just good hand-eye coordination. Like my brother likes to go and like we were playing and like his wife's sister like, "Do you play often?" I was like, "No, like this was like 12 years I played for him." She's like what?
Just a natural, huh?
It was just like, well, and also like I'm in great shape like because of the cardio and stuff. So this helps. Because
Yeah.
basketball, I suck at basketball, but like just I'm like strong enough where I can like give like a pick to somebody and they'll just stop. They'll
Yeah.
like run into me and they'll just stop.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "What happened?" Like, so it's fun in that sense.
Yeah.
So, and I can move like if somebody like I can't shoot like for shit. Like I can't shoot the ball for shit, but I can defend very
Mhm.
well because I'm fast. Like so,
Yeah.
I'll just stay on the ball like the whole time. Like it's just that. Like
Yeah.
so it makes it exciting. Like in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's cool,
So
man. That's cool. I definitely I need to up my game on trying to get involved in some recreational sports outside of here. So, but man, that's cool that like I said, your journey, and then now just how the other things you're involved in, and then now the big move back to Houston. What are you most excited about moving back to Houston?
um, being close to like everybody, like my parents, brother, and them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm, I'm more excited about that. I'm gonna get a barbell and some plates when I get there.
Oh, nice.
That's like one of the first things. So like that's what I'm looking forward to. But and also like just doing activities with my brother, like
Uh-huh.
hiking, mountain biking and stuff, because he's really into that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just that getting to travel more
Yeah.
because we were looking at flight tickets and round trip from Houston to LA was $26.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dang. Yeah.
So we were just like, oh, like if that's the case, like we can just fly to LA on Friday and come back Sunday.
Right. Just make it a weekend trip. That's cool, man.
Like go eat. And there's like
Yeah.
a couple marathons, or I want to start with half marathons. A couple
Yeah.
of half marathons that I want to run. And it's in like southern Houston, Galveston area.
Mm-hmm.
And like I saw the route on maps, I guess. Like, and it's like really cool because you like wooded, like part of it's wooded, like part of it's like paved, part of it's like on the beach. So
Oh,
near
nice.
the ocean.
Oh, wow.
So
Very
like-
scenic.
yeah, I think it's called the Sealy Marathon.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Nice.
Right.
Well, cool, man. We're excited for you. I know you've been a part of the gym for a while, and so just to kind of close out, I wanted to ask you, from when you started, what would you tell somebody? Like, I know that first week you did here, and I'm sure, just walking into somewhere that, because really the only person you knew was Melinda, but what would you tell somebody that was maybe in a similar situation as yourself of like just getting started in this style of fitness if they have any reservations?
I think barbell is the intimidating factor. It's just give it a try.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like there's other movements that you can choose over the barbell.
Mhm.
Like if you're not comfortable with it, because
Yeah.
that's what like right now with Paula, like I get her to work out with me.
Yeah.
The workouts that I do are more like our style workout, like CrossFit / boot camp
Yeah.
style
Like
workout.
higher intensity.
Yeah, like
Maybe a little more load with lifting and stuff.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
because like I have bands. Like I even got kettlebells for her, different like 20-pound, 8-pound. So
Yeah.
like I'll have her do different weights. So like she likes that. So it's just that like you just got to give it a try.
Mhm.
Like it's like with food. Like if you don't try it, you don't know if you like it or not.
Yeah. So you just got to start. You just kind of.
Yeah. And with gym, like a lot of people are like intimidated by running, like the cardio aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And like the boot camp here, like was a great way to incorporate cardio without running.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was great. Like which is like if you're starting out like and you hate running,
Yeah.
like and also the boot camp was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And in that like we stretched for 15 minutes, like we cooled down for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
5 or
if
10.
you're just like looking at it like workouts essentially, like
Yeah.
10 to 15 minutes at the most.
Right. So it doesn't take much.
Yeah, like you're just moving consistently for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like and that's all it needs. Like it's just 15 minutes 3 to 4 times a week
Yeah.
and you just got to do it.
Yeah. And I like how you mentioned the 3 to 4 times a week because it is a big part because, instead of, for especially starting out, coming
Yeah.
in every day, like if you were to come work out every day for 2 weeks and then you drop off, like, well, that's not going to do anything
Yeah.
compared to like you come 3 times a week for 3 months, like a big difference there.
Yeah.
So,
And also like when I started dieting, like there was another thing like I was reading about and Dwayne Johnson, The
Mhm.
Rock, his thing came up and he was saying like, all right, so if you're going to diet, but when you diet, like every weekend is your cheat weekend. So like
Mhm.
Saturday, Sunday, cheat.
yeah.
Month has 4 weeks. So that's 4 weekends. That's 8 days. That's
Yeah.
a week right there.
Yeah.
Like you lost. So
Yeah.
you're a week behind at the end of the month that you're dieting.
Yeah. That you're off of your
What
your
your
plan.
goal is. So like if you started dieting on the first and you're doing the cheat on every Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah.
and you look at yourself on the 30th, you're not getting the days that results that you would get on the 30th day. You're looking at the results that you would get on the 22nd day
Yeah.
because you're 8 days behind,
Yeah.
right? Like so that was like a glass shattering moment. Like I'm like, well, son of a, sorry,
Yeah.
like initially like for that whole year, like I had like a cheat day meals
Uh-huh.
where I love breakfast food. So I would like have about $25 in cash and I would go to like the Pancake House or Chicken Run.
Yeah.
Chicken Run has like the greatest oatmeal pancake.
Uh-huh.
So I would go there like $20, like order breakfast, like extra side of bacon,
Like,
Like-
the full deal.
biscuits, gravy, like whatever I could, like and tip the waitress the remaining because usually the food's like $14-15.
Yeah.
And I would just like eat that, and that would be my cheat meal for like the month.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I did it for like initially I would do it like once a month, and then I was just like, all right, I can go like a couple months at a time, and so
Oh, yeah.
it worked out. But it was just like I would only do it once. So
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson helped with that.
Oh, yeah. And it makes sense because you start adding it up and you're like, oh, wow. So it's interesting, too, because Vanessa and I were talking about the exact same thing not too long ago of, the weekends of a lot of people just letting it go completely. And I think at times you have to have some balance, and, if you're going to do this thing long term. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like you do also have to try and kind of pick and choose, where you want, where you're going to, I guess, kind of waver off of what you normally do,
Yeah.
so that's interesting to, hear it from your perspective as well, how that added up
Yeah.
to you.
I mean, like it helped, like because like if you're looking at it, like I want 1 month's result at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be a week behind.
Yeah.
And that analogy made sense because you definitely aren't.
Mhm.
And then like because I was following like a strict meal prep and whatnot, like I would cook every weekend. So like that helped.
Yeah.
And like whenever I was traveling, like as soon as we landed, because for that work I would have to go to different cities, different states.
Uh-huh.
So as soon as I would land, like I would stop at a Walgreens and buy like a thing of protein shakes,
Yeah.
the Premier Protein 30
Oh,
grams
yeah, and
each.
getting all prepped for your week there, your few days.
Because I'm just like I'm gonna drink protein like I do normally, even if I don't get my normal meals. Because
Yeah.
like I was doing a lot of conventions for like Indian hotel owners and whatnot, so it was the Indian food,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so carb heavy. So it was just that. So it's just like you said, you gotta see where you waver off.
Yeah.
So like I was letting myself eat a little more carbs when I was traveling, but sticking to my protein, my cardio and whatnot. Because I would run.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't get to lift. Another workout I liked was imam burpees.
Oh yeah.
Hate doing it, but it's like you do 10 burpees a minute for 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And any minute you don't get 10 burpees, you add a minute.
Oh wow.
So like, and it's just 10. Like I wouldn't even stretch for it or anything. I just start doing it,
Yeah.
and I only had to do like 12 minutes once.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like 10 minutes.
Oh
is
yeah.
it.
That's a very effective 10-minute workout right there.
Yeah, like you're sweaty, like you shower, like
Yeah.
done. Like that's a hotel workout that I used to do
Yeah.
quite often.
Nice. Well, awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate you sharing, your story with us and what you're up to, and good luck with the big move back to Houston. And really appreciate you being around here the last few years, and hope you can find a gym there. Or sounds like you might be building like a little home gym, getting a barbell and some gear.
Yeah, most likely. But yeah, like thanks for having me. Like this was fun. Like Iron Roots has become like a second home, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like during the pandemic, I worked from home most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I literally this place and Costco were like the only two places I went,
Yeah.
and I live like right down the street.
Yeah.
So like for the whole first year, like even Paula was like, "You don't go anywhere." I was like, "I do. I go to the gym." Like,
Yeah. Well, cool, Akash. Thanks for your time today, man. And I guess good luck with the move, and we will hopefully talk to you soon.
thank you.
All right. See ya.
See ya.